A very good morning, dear students. Welcome to e-learning classes of Sacred Hearts of the subject Business Studies. Dear students, in the previous lecture of Business Studies, we have discussed about the different cooperative societies in which we have studied the number of cooperative society. For example, the consumer cooperative society, basically created by the consumers so that they can be prevented from the exploitation of the middleman or the seller. Second, we have discussed about the producers cooperative society, the cooperative organization or the society that have been created by the producers either for getting the raw material or for selling of the goods. Thereafter, we have discussed about the cooperative marketing society, the society that have been created for the selling of the goods at the profitable prices. The fourth was the cooperative credit society, created by the people who find it difficult to find the loans or credit on the easy terms. Thereafter, we have discussed about the housing society, created by the particular persons who are seeking for the accommodation facilities and they individually find it very difficult to construct that. And the last but not the least, we have discussed about the cooperative farming society, created by the small and marginal farmers so that they can get the benefits of the mechanized farming, latest technology, HYV seeds, etc. Dear students, today we are going to start the next form of business organization under the private sector, that is a joint stock company. Today we will discuss about the concept of joint stock company, features and merits of the joint stock company. So let's get started about the today's lecture. The very first is the introduction of joint stock company. So dear students, if we talk about the joint stock company or the company, then it is the form of business organization that is most suitable for the large scale activities. For what? For the large scale activities. And why? Because it has the advantage of attracting huge amount of capital from the public. It is having this advantage, and how we are going to discuss it later. And with the adequate capital, it can employ trained and experienced managers to run the business activities efficiently. Now the question arises, what is the joint stock company? So it will be more clear with the definition of joint stock company. Initially we will discuss the definition of joint stock company in the words of Justice Lindley, and thereafter we will have a general discussion about the definition of joint stock company. See, as per the Lindley, joint stock company is meant as an association of many persons who contribute money. Group of many person, what they are doing? They are contributing money, or they are contributing the money's worth equivalent to money to a common stock or and employ for some common purpose. That means the money is contributed for some common purpose by all the people. This is the definition as per the Justice Landley. Now, a common definition is there for the joint stock company. So, you can see over here, a joint stock company is an artificial person having the separate legal existence. Which type of person is this? Artificial person having the legal existence, separate legal existence. That means, in as per the law, it is having its own existence. And perpetual succession. What is the meaning of perpetual succession? That means a very long life, we can say continuous life. And the common seal. And what is common seal? The stamp that we used to see, that is the common seal. Now let us discuss about the features of joint stock company. The very first is the separate legal existence. A company has its separate legal entity. Company can carry on. Company is having the separate legal existence, and when the company is having the separate legal existence, then company can carry on business, company can buy and sell, and company can enter into the contract with its name specifically. And further, the company and its members are separate individuals. Company is not known by its members, but members are known by the company. The second feature is the artificial person. We people are the real person who are having the physical existence, physical appearance. We are having the mass. But if we talk about the company, then company is also a person, but it cannot be seen, so that is why it is considered as an artificial person. And as it is created by the law and its existence is by the law, so it is considered as the artificial person. Its operations are performed by the elected representatives, and these representatives are known as board of directors. The next feature is the registration. So it is legally very compulsory for any of the company to get itself registered under Companies Act 2013. No company can trade or come into existence without registration. The next merit is the common seal. Being an artificial person, it cannot make any sign. So while entering into the contract, what is to be done? The company is having its own common seal, and on that the name of the company is engraved. What is the common seal? More specifically, we have seen the stamp. So in the technical terms, the stamp is known as a common seal. So wherever the company used to enter the contract, wherever it used to sell, wherever it used to purchase, every time in the every contract and documentation, the seal is there. The common seal is there of the company, and it is putted by the representative of the company. The next one is the perpetual succession. Although I have discussed earlier as well, but again, perpetual succession means continuous existence. So the company is having the continuous existence. Why? Because it is created by the law and it is separate from its member. Any death, casualty, insolvency of member cannot affect the working of the company. It is created by the law and it will dissolve by the law only. The next and the last one, that is the transferability of shares. So the capital of the total capital of the company is divided into small parts, and these small parts are known as shares, and these shares are freely transferable by its member. For example, I have purchased the shares and after 2 months I am willing to have my money, so I can sell out the shares. So there is no restriction as such. So whenever the shareholders find it appropriate, they can purchase or sell. So there is easy transferability of shares. All these are merits. Now we are going, features. Now we are going to discuss about the merits. The very first merit is limited liability. All the members of the company, that means shareholders of the company, are having the limited liability up to the amount of capital contributed by them in the company. The next one is the transfer of interest, as we have discussed earlier as well. Transferability of share, this is the only point. Transfer of interest, whenever the particular investor or the particular shareholder wants to get the liquidity, wants to get the cash, or in the requirement of money, the shares can be sold out with the very easy terms. The next one is perpetual succession. We have discussed earlier that the company is having a continuous life, as it is created intentionally. In the same way, there is the proper procedure for the dissolution of the company as well. So it never comes to an end automatically. Next one is the growth and expansion. So in the company form of business, it is easy and more chances of growth and expansion. Why? Because there is ample amount of financial resources, and these financial resources can be used for the growth and expansion of the company. Thereafter, the next one, that is the efficient management. As we have discussed in the earlier point, that company is having the sufficient amount of financial resources. So out of these financial resources, company is able to hire the professional experts, and whenever the professional experts will be hired for the working, so the management will be efficient one and the work can be done in the best possible manner. And the last advantage is the large amount of capital. So what have been told in this point, just see that it is the biggest advantage of the joint stock company. That it can attract the large amount of capital. How it can attract the large amount of capital? Because the price of a share is very nominal. So even whosoever is having the small amount of savings can purchase the shares in the particular company. So for example, I am having 500 rupees, and the price of one share is rupees 250. So in this condition also, even with the nominal amount of 500, I can make investment in the company. So company very easily used to get the larger amount of financial resources. So this is all about today. Today we have discussed about the concept of joint stock company, definition of joint stock company, features and merits of joint stock company. This is all for today. God bless you all. Lots of love.